Hey diddle-a-diddle. Hey diddle-diddle and a happy little turtle. I'm Nicola, and today I am a man with an opinion. You see, there's a thing going on called fidget spinners. If you don't know what this thing is, obviously you live under a rock. And by under, I mean deep enough that you can hear the mantle yet not get burnt to death by it. Also, you're on Mars. And by on Mars, I mean a planet that looks exactly like Mars, but is in a completely different galaxy halfway across the universe. Now, for those of you who are Martians from a complete other, did I say universe? I meant galaxy, that dig very deep tunnels. These things are supposed to help with fidgeting, but for me it's just a very distracting. And they've gotten very popular as well, which is why it took me 19 days for this thing to get delivered. I'm not going to enter story time with Nico, but that is compared to the time that it took for this thing to come. Only 16 days. And these things are much less popular for some reason. This is a fidget cube. It's like a spinner, only instead of distracting, it's actually good for fidgeting. It has a weird ball thing, and these, a switch, a spinny thing that I'm absolutely obsessed with, but for some reason has a lot more resistance today. That's that. These buttons. And finally, something that's supposed to be like a worry stone. Whatever the heck that is. I have a problem with the difference in popularity in these things. As this is supposed to help with fidgeting, and it's a distraction, and all it does is spin. And it has 3 weights that I'm pretty sure are magnetic, but I haven't tried that out yet. This thing, however, could actually help with the time that you would need to constantly fidget, such as studying. It even has, like, a little pen clicker. Listen to that. Meanwhile, this thing... Sorry. Hold on. Sorry. You can use the sound of this thing for ASMR. I am here to help end that extreme, what's the word, unfairness, I guess, in the difference in popularity. And, just to mix things up, I'll throw in another what I'm guessing is fidget toy, which is also known as the elusive stress ball. So, spinner versus fidget cube versus stress ball. Who will win? 2 side notes. First one, no offense to anyone who doesn't know what this thing is. As what I said was probably offensive, unless you are actually a deep tunnel boring Martian, close enough to Martian at least, from Andromeda. Secondly, forgot what secondly was. Oh yeah, I am recording in my basement, like I do all of my videos. The first thing we're going to contest, what's the word? First contest in this challenge will be probably the most obvious one. Satisfaction. A good way to show the satisfaction. This thing I've constantly been bouncing and tossing after I got it, which I got it from what's pretty much just a school fair. Meanwhile, this I've had in my hand constantly, yet haven't really used any of the options yet, except this, which for some reason is incredibly satisfying to do. There's also this thing. Oh, and then this, which from the moment I got it, also known as yesterday, I've been non-stop spinning this thing while watching YouTube. This thing has a weird, like, gyroscopic effect. Like, if I tilt it in one direction, I feel like it just rotate around completely. Also known as science, because gyroscopic effect. Point one for these things. The next thing I'm gonna do is see how quiet and stealthy each of these things are. Because you might be in a school where you can't bring toys. I don't know why I say toys like this. Because these, literally in a brand called Fidget Toys. Ow! So, let's look at the quietness for this thing. Silent toss, silent squeeze. I mean, not exactly silent bounce, but then again, only an idiot would want to bounce this in the middle of school. As for this thing, that's completely silent. That isn't. That's mostly silent if you pick the middle one. That's completely silent. The middle button on this is completely silent, yet the sound and the click you get is kind of the point. And finally, obviously, rubbing your thumb on a crevice is completely silent. Sadly, the most satisfying things you can do. Alright, and this is silent. But the most satisfying things you can do, with the exception of that, are also the loudest. Plus, it rattles. The final thing, these, which as you can clearly hear, are not silent at all. And are actually pretty annoying to me if I hear them in the middle of school. Which I won't have to worry about because summer! Yay!
Probably shouldn't be recording from how many times I've coughed in this video. I might keep a cough count if I'm not too lazy. Might be too lazy.
The next competition is number of uses. I'm okay. First, Le Fidget Cube. That was a horrible. Le Fidget Sorry. Le Fidget Ball. Le Stress Ball. The things you can do with a stress ball. Squeeze it, bounce it, toss it, and chuck it at your friend. Because my friend is the wall. The uses of the Fidget Cube. Fidget Cube. Ah! I ran away from a cube. I ran away from Cuba. Alright, the first use. Repeatedly clicking this thing to death. The second use. Spinning that thing around until your finger thumbs off. Your spinning finger. Did I just say finger, first of all? And second of all, until your finger thumbs off. And there's sliding this thing. Using this thing as a button. Clicking the... Trying to see if you can make this thing make any sound. Would you? That was not this thing, that was that. But you cannot. Spinning that thing repeatedly until your, once again, thumb falls off. Doing this. And finally, my personal favorite, not really, because I hate it. Actually, before it, trying to see if there's some combination thing on these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh! And finally, rubbing this. Meh. Finally, le Fidget Spinner. Why am I talking like that? Uses of this fidget spinner. Uses of this fidget spinner. Spinning it, obviously. Trying to pop these things out, but you can't. Trying to pop these things off. Hold on, why can't I pop these things out? Practically everyone can with these, and I'm pretty sure these things are supposed to spin for others. But I don't know, because this is the first time I've actually been allowed to spin a spinner. Oh hey, I pulled this off! Gaze in awe at those weird ball things. And finally, this is probably my favorite one. If you got a more expensive model, try to contemplate why you spent $150 to get a piece of metal that spins on a skateboard bearing. I hate fidget spinner videos. But anyways, let's get on with the pretty much a fidget spinner video. Because sometimes you just can't help it, the next thing that I'm going to be considering on which is the better, hold on, this thing's all the way over there still, which is the better fidget toy is level of annoyance. Why? Because sometimes you just can't help but annoy the crap out of your friend Bob. This is what you get for stealing my cookie, Bob. Also known as hypothetical character I just made up for the point of a funny video, who has the world's most generic name for a male. This is what you get. Alright, let's see how annoying it is to throw this thing at someone's face. How? I'm going to do it to either my mom, with permission, or my brother. Not my brother, because he can't be on YouTube. Boing! Boing! I just realized, this thing bounces. This thing does not bounce straight upwards. Yes, it does. I'm just going insane. And it's gone. My mom doesn't want to be on YouTube, so I'm going to do the second best thing. Seeing how much it annoys me if I throw this at myself. And if this were a school scenario, probably chuck that back at them. Next, a la cube. And I already have a basic idea of how annoying this thing is because my dad threatened to take it away and have me never see it again, even though I'm hoping that he wasn't true about that. So, but a little, it's nothing compared to getting this thing thrown at your face while you're trying to do a test. Think the ball's gonna win this one subject, not the whole competition. This thing has no chance. And finally, the fidget spinner. Ow, my finger! Fidget spinner. Alright. How annoying is the fidget spinner? Well, in the middle of school, very. But I should stop talking that thing. Still, not as annoying as having this scenario happen. Pretend this arm is completely different. This arm is a completely different person's arm. Ah! That thing's cursed. It almost hit me. I'm out with subjects that I've come up with on the spot, so I'm going to rewatch the footage and count up the total points to see who wins. You'll probably know who wins already because I'll probably edit it onto the screen. Anyways, let's get to that. It's not showing my face, is it? Now it is. I think.
Fidget Cube wins by 10 with 10 points. Meanwhile, the other two only have 5. Yay! I was right. These are better. Ah!